So I've been wanting to start making YouTube videos for a good while now, and this shit I saw today, it finally made me start. Because let me tell you, X-Men 97 is fucking excellent. When this series was first announced, obviously I was excited, but I completely and utterly did not expect them to go as far as they have with this show. I thought we were going to be getting the same X Men that we got before, just a simple continuation of that, but this show is going so far and beyond anything the previous series has. It has completely exceeded it in every way: animation, the storytelling, everything. And obviously, up until a few years ago, the MCU was massively successful. You know, it's what brought the Avengers back into the public eye. It's what made Iron Man huge. But I have been saying for years that the MCU needs the X-Men. Yeah, it was doing great before. Obviously, Infinity War is one of the best comic book movies of all time. But the MCU needs the X-Men. And this show proves that above all else. So today, I'm just wanting to go over episode 5, my thoughts on it, what happened in it. And yeah, so obviously, spoilers ahead for that. And if you're not already watching this show, get on it! So when we start this episode, we find Cyclops and Jean Grey, and their relationship is on the rocks. They're having a hard time because of all the bullshit that Mr. Sinister put them through. Jean can't remember which memories are hers and which are Madeline's. Scott is second guessing if she even loves him. She finds out that Scott has been telepathically communicating with Madeline, and that was always supposed to be their special thing, and they're just second guessing their entire relationship. It is a whole mess. Now, this is pretty much where my only issue with this episode starts. I don't really like the way that these two go about coping with the trauma that they're experiencing, because what they do, it just seems kind of sudden and out of nowhere. Jean, she ends up talking with Logan about it and ends up kissing Logan. And I'm sure, I know in the comics, it's always been back and forth between Cyclops, Logan, whatever. Comics have been going on for years, decades. But in X-Men the Animated Series, Jean and Cyclops were always really firm with each other, really firm in their relationship. And obviously they're going through some strife right now. But it never even seemed like Jean really considered being with Logan. It always seemed like he was the one who had those feelings towards her, and she kind of just brushed him off. Now, Cyclops, on the other hand, he's having an interview on TV with a reporter. She's trying to build good relations with him, and it seems like he just goes on this sudden villain arc. This dude just kind of snaps and takes out everything he's going with on her. Basically says, fuck humans, and that's very uncyclops. It kind of comes out of nowhere for me personally. I was reading recently about a villain arc that Cyclops goes on in the comics. Cyclops kind of goes crazy for a while there, but in the show he's always been, that blue Boy Scout, good student X-Men, the leader of the team, and it just kind of seemed a little out of nowhere. But at the same time, the characters are going through a whole lot of shit, so I guess it can make sense. So next we cut to Magneto, Gambit, and Rogue, and they're on their way over to the country of Genosha after it's finally been admitted to the United Nations as an official country. I don't think it says specifically why they went over there. They weren't going over there for a mission, obviously. I think maybe they were just going over there to reconnect with Madeline and celebrate the festivities. I'm not sure exactly, but anyways, Magneto's suspicious of why Gambit even wanted to come, and obviously it's because, Gambit knows that they're not fucking currently, but he knows they were fucking in the past, and he thinks they might be fucking currently, and obviously he's real upset about that. He's put all this time into showing that he loves Rogue, and yeah, he's tight. So after they arrive, they meet back up with, Nightcrawler. They meet back up with Madeline. They're happy to see that she's part of the council on Genosha, and things are just looking real good at that place. The mutants finally have a place, a country of their own, where they can live their lives in peace and without fear of prosecution. And yeah, things are looking up for them. So the Geonosian Council, they want to meet with Magneto in private. So basically, they propose to him that they want him to be the leader of Geonosia. And Magneto is real apprehensive. He really kind of doesn't want the position at first, but he ends up reluctantly accepting under one condition, and that's if Rogue will be his quote unquote queen, rule with him. And she's not happy about that at all. She thinks that he's trying to play her, put their affair out in public, and she's pretty pissed. But she ends up coming around on it. She goes to talk with Gambit later on, and it turns out that he was finally ready to propose to her. But he knows what's been going on between them, and they finally have that talk. And Rogue she at the time, she doesn't seem to be able to see deeper that Gambit truly, he loves her for who she truly is. She wants somebody that she can make physical contact with, and he's just not willing to accept that. He knows that there's things that don't go deeper, that they're more important, and he's not willing to accept that at the time, so he just wants to be friends. So later on in the night, there's a huge, gala ball type party being thrown, a huge dance party. Everybody is there. And this is when Rogue, she decides to make her previous affairs with Magneto more public. She takes to a dance with him in midair, and, they kiss. And it's here where she realizes that, Gambit was right. There are things more important and more deeper than just to be able to, the affection of physical touch. There's true love and there's true feelings. After this, that's where shit really starts to pop off. Out of nowhere, Cable appears, trying to prevent some kind of imminent attack that we don't know who it's from, where it's coming from, but he shows up trying to prevent this attack, and he's simply too late. And it's in this short time that he does meet Madeline Pryor, and she realizes that he's the grown up version of her son that got sent to the future, her baby son, Nathan, that just recently got sent to the future. And yeah, Cable is sent back to the future before he can prevent the attack that's about to come. And then this giant fucking Godzilla kaiju triple-headed sentinel descends on the party, descends on Genosha, and just rains absolute hellfire. I mean, Gambit literally describes this thing as a Godzilla sentinel, and that is honestly the best description for it. I'm the kind of person when a new season of a show comes out or something, be it X-Men, Invincible, whatever, anything that I like, I get real obsessed with it for the time being, and I start researching as much about that franchise and series as I possibly can. And the Sentinels are one of my absolute favorite aspects of X-Men, so I've been researching different Sentinels lately. And I thought the most powerful Sentinels were just Nimrod, that future Sentinel from Days of Future Past, I believe it was, the cartoon version or the comic version, whatever, and the movie Sentinels from Days of Future Past, those ones that could adapt to any mutant's power and just absolutely fucking obliterated them in that movie. But I had no clue about the Tri-Sentinel. This one's actually not the Tri-Sentinel. They're called Wild Sentinels, I believe. And they are just these massive, at least the version in this show, it's just this massive fucking kaiju, and it just absolutely destroys everything and rains hellfire down upon them. So Rogue comes to, and, Gambit brings her up to snuff on the situation, what's going on. And, obviously everybody starts to fight back, and this fucker just wipes out dozens of mutants, completely destroys the entire island, everything. And basically, Magneto and Gambit, the Morlocks end up trapped. And Magneto and Gambit, they both sacrifice their lives trying to save these guys, and they both die. And the way this is depicted in the show, it is just so far beyond anything that the original series ever depicted. Just the writing, the animation, everything. It is on a whole nother level. Characters did not. The original X-Men never went this hard. Characters did not die like this. It was never this gruesome and dark. And yeah, the episode essentially ends with Rogue, saying, "I can't feel you, Remy. He's fucking dead." So yeah, this had to be one of the single most excellent, amazing pieces of X-Men media I've ever seen. It surpasses the entire original series. It surpasses basically all the Fox X-Men movies. The only one on par with it for me is Days of Future Past and Logan. Those are both excellent movies. Most of those movies are just poop for me personally. Yeah, I was not expecting this series to go this far and beyond. I did not think it was going to be this adult. You know, the MCU X-Men movies, they're going to have a hell of a time competing with this. That's all I got to say. They're gonna have a real hard time competing with this level of writing, everything. So obviously, dozens of mutants just fucking died. Magneto and Gambit are both dead now, and these are such significant holes in the show. I just don't see them being permanent. I think that there's going to be more time travel shenanigans with Cable. He's going to come back and probably save some people. Maybe some people won't get saved. Who knows? I'm not familiar with the decades of X-Men comics that, this show is taking from. I've started actually reading some of the original ones from the 60s recently, but I have no clue what they're going to do next. Maybe some of you can let me know possibly what they might do. But yeah, I guess we're just gonna have to wait and see. This has been Shul Creates. I'll talk to y'all next time.